Now the national anthem of the Republic of the Philippines, Lupang Inirang, the chosen land. Well, the roar says it all. We do have a fair number of Greeks, but the Filipino army showed up again, and you saw Andre Blatch really moved and concentrated with his hand over his heart. He was sworn in as a Filipino citizen in July. He's a member of his team, and after a very shaky start for both Blatch and the Philippine teams, they found themselves and they pushed Croatia to the limit, losing in overtime.
Well, why wouldn't they come back after yesterday?
Luigi LaMonica in the middle is a formidable referee, and he's flanked by Stephen Seibel on the right of Canada and Mohamed Alamidi of Kuwait. But I have to say, so far in this tournament, the refereeing hasn't only been not an issue, it's been actually superb.
Absolutely, and we haven't had to talk about it at all, and that's the biggest sign. There's the Greek roster, and Zizis is going to get a start today, which probably shows some of the concerns that Kotsakaris had yesterday. Nick Kalathis goes to the 2 spot, so it'll be interesting to see how they function, and I think it's also aware that they have to get the ball inside, and Ioannis Baroussis needs touches of the basketball. Georges Princess gets the job done at the 4 spot. Papa Nikolaou is explosive and has inside-outside options, but with that back court, it's a very experienced, very clever, very intelligent Greek 1-2 in the backcourt.
Kalathis had 1 assist and 4 turnovers, though, yesterday. Now, look at the Philippines team and look at the height of Chot Reyes' team.
Wow, the height is a factor that they use to their advantage. They hustle, they get underneath you, they make you try to do things you're not really looking to do and are comfortable doing. And they did that to Croatia. After Croatia had a great start, the Philippine defense just took them out of what they wanted to run. Jeff Chan, interesting. LA Tenario in the backcourt. They'll rotate that backcourt extensively. Gabe Norwood, again, but it's all about Andre Blatch. What will he do? Where will he play? Nice to see Pringles start, because he was a big factor in his activity at the 4 spot.
Indeed, and Aguilar, who started yesterday, is now coming off the bench. And one interesting matchup today, as we look at the primary matchup, Kostas Kaimakolga for Greece with 17 points, and Andre Blatch for the Philippines.
Well, Andre Blatch carried the team in lots of ways yesterday and carried them into overtime. A double-double against Croatia, who, with their win against Argentina, underlined their status as one of the group favorites. But Philippines took a group favorite to overtime. So if Greece thinks this is a gimme, they should think again, because there's one thing for sure, the Philippines will get after them. The worry for me for Greece is they were very 3-point happy yesterday, and they were 3-point happy because the team weren't being guarded. They're going to be guarded today, and Kamioglu's going to get rushed a little bit. If they get rushed, then it's going to get down to how smart we expect Greece to be. Greek basketball is about being smart, making great decisions.
You also saw a number of players in the Philippine roster on the wrong side of 30. Philippines will use almost all of their 12 players in very different ways.
And but they get contributions out of the whole roster, don't they? It's a really... Chot Reyes has done nothing but make that group a group. He's brought everybody with him. Everybody's been involved in the Asia Cup. It's a big family out there at the moment, and families pull for each other. And yesterday they really did. Their backs were to the wall, and they came back against one of the best teams in this FIBA World Cup.
And really, the game really came down to a last shot. If Jeffrey Chen makes that 3, or there's a foul call, perhaps we may have had a tie game and in the second overtime.
Yeah, and the plays in the regulation and at the end of overtime, Chot Reyes, when he looks at those, and he will, because he's a student of the game, he won't be happy with how they executed in both instances. They had a chance to win it, and they had a chance to take it to double overtime.
John Chico to the left, Ryan Gregorio to the further left, as the Philippines takes the floor in white, the classic blue and white for Greece, one of the founding members of FIBA back in 1932. And for the Philippines, again, one of those nations where basketball is the undisputed #1 sport. There's the lefty, Jeff Chang, and part of the community here. This is from Rome. Oh my. This is from Rome. I said I came from Rome. And there are 23,000 Filipinos in Madrid. A lot of them took the AVE, the fast train, over to Sevilla. It's about a 2-hour ride. Luigi, who had problems with the toss yesterday.
Let's see what he does. And Ioannis Bruce has gone for the clean, sharp look. He's got rid of the beard. So maybe see if that makes him a bit quicker.
Maybe he'll pass incognito. As Greece wins the tip. And Barousis opens up in the perimeter. Printezis inside to Barousis against Blatch. Let's see if they can get a foul off him or a nice shot. Left-handed hook shot, it's good. Boy, is he resourceful.
Well, it's going to be a different challenge for Blatch today, because Barousis is an out-and-out big that's going to try and back him in, as he did right then.
Blatch is limping, literally.
He really is.
He hurt that knee last at the end of the game against Croatia, but I guess the adrenaline made him not feel that injury then. Chan, nice pick and pop. Blatch just didn't run to it. 2 seconds to shoot. No good. Rebounded by Printezis. Galathis. Papanikolaou being guarded by Chan. That's an interesting matchup. Short by Barousis. Here comes L.A. Tenorio. Louis Alfred drives, pops, Chan shoots. No good. Printezis. No, they're not going to get into the up and down game.
No, the Greeks will only run when they've got a real numerical advantage. Barousis' three is not a good sign. They got very, very three-point happy and a little too early on the offense. That's a good sign.
Weak side cut, using the screen. Beautiful play and a very soft touch, which is the Printezis' trademark. Tenorio with Jason Castro coming off the bench. Normally the lead point guard. Printezis trying to do his best against Blatch. Turnaround. No good. Rebounded by Norwood. No good. And a foul against Greece. 5-time PBA Coach of the Year, the Philippines Basketball Association.
Well, it's an interesting decision by Katsoukaris to let Printezis guard Blatch, because he saw yesterday Blatch will float to the perimeter in an attempt, often in an attempt just to make it a 4-on-4 game with no big underneath. So he's leaving Barousis, who's got that ability just to adjust and fill space. So Printezis has got the matchup against Blatch. And you don't know if the knee injury of Blatch is just one of those painful ones and he's not going to have a problem on it. He keeps stretching it and moving it. And whether as the game goes on, it's going to warm up and he'll be able to play through it.
Makes the second one. We learned yet another difference from the NBA. There's no disabledness in these tournaments. You show up every day and you have, in this case, 5 games in 6 days. Brutal schedule. And that's just to make it to the elimination round. It's an interesting matchup here. But they don't fall for low post. It's a bad pass. Over Norwood. Launches a three. No good.
Well, that's the issue. We've talked about this in terms of small guys, big guys. Tenorio was just inside Papanikolaou's shorts almost. And he just couldn't deal with the little guy around his knees.
The captain gets the back end of the foul. Jeffrey Chan, the guilty party.
Well, you can't get beat on penetration with that, the ability to be quicker. And Aziz is much more assertive than he would normally be. Normally, he really does just fulfill that traditional Greek point guard role, but he just took it straight at the defense there. Nice finish.
He is a captain because there are quite a few absences in this team, including Spanoulis, who normally handles the ball. It's more of a ball handler by committee at this point.
Well, Aziz will handle it and does it at club. Blatch fancies his chances as a point guard in this tournament.
Well, he's got a taste of it in the games against Croatia. He drives, cuts, feeds. 6 seconds to go. Chan gets blocked by Printezis.
Printezis is athletic. Very good.
Cross-court by Papanikolaou. Great strip by Tenorio. Norwood gets fouled by Galathis. Wow.
Well, Kostas Papanikolaou has really found out what it's like to play against that smaller man. He's on the perimeter, he doesn't know where he is, and he goes to the basket, gets it stripped. That doesn't happen to him normally in that set of circumstances. Good break, though, by Greece. They filled the lanes really quickly, but you've got to credit Tenorio. Got back, protected the basket.
He knew he couldn't outjump the player. He just went for the ball. Blatch.
Nice find.
No good. The point center has arrived in Sevilla. Galafis. Stripped by Blatch. Here we go. Up ahead to Tenorio. Numbers for Philippines. Back to Blatch. It's in. Tenorio passing the screens behind the pick. Steps, no. Papanikolaou, lefty shooter. Short. Blatch for the rebound.
Princesis had to go up. You give up the two wide open one-footer, and missing the open three.
The Euro step is becoming an Andre Blatch trademark. Who knew?
Watch out the NBA next year. If he fancies that step, then again he's going to travel. But
he did have that, but he barely showed it.
He's showing it this tournament.
Foul reaching in by Pingris. Pingris plays a center position in the Philippine League. You can tell how much grit he has.
You know, it's a fine line as we see this little step and the soft finish, little floater to finish for Blatch. And Blatch has dragged the Philippines. Well, he's got him going. It's a fine line, the Philippines. They've got to be aggressive on defense. They've got to try and make steals happen. But that one from Pringles, where there was no real opportunity to steal it, he's just got to control himself and be smart.
This is in the crease. It's in. Beautiful shot. In rhythm.
Really assertive. Very, very positive in the opening, the exchanges, Zisis in terms of taking shots.
Tenorio with a dribble handoff. Pingris inside out. Bad pass. Taken by Norwood. 3 seconds to shoot. Very difficult shot.
Well, Coach Katsikaris just said, what happened in those last 6 seconds? They fumbled it and we stopped.
It's a 1-point Greece lead, and there is a turnover by Galafis. He had 4 last night.
Well, the equation for me for Greece is they've got to be very, very smart about when they use the dribble and when they get the ball moving through the air, because the Philippines will want the ball on the dribble so they can really focus their defense on going for steals and forcing things on it. Great pass.
Extra pass and a block by Papanikolaou. Great play. And now he gets hit in traffic by Tenorio. One thing about the Philippines, especially for teams like Greece that have not played against them, Philippines present a lineup sometimes that makes you think that you should do things that you normally don't do. You begin to sort of think you have advantages, and they take you they make you out of sorts.
Exactly what happened to Croatia yesterday, wasn't it? It made Croatia try and do things and really emphasize things that aren't Croatian basketball.
Wow, maybe the Greek national Olympic team needs a shot putter. That's exactly what Cortez has launched.
It's an amazing shot. That's a backcourt, but
another Euro step intercepted by Baroussis. Zisis. He gave him his right hand, and he couldn't get the roll. Norwood up and down goes this game. Blatch all alone, facing the basket, no good. Rebounded by Galafis.
Well, Katsikaris asking them to settle down, but you can't ignore Baroussis when he runs the floor.
That gives them a 5-point lead. Again, typical of Philippines. When they substitute, it's in bunches. Here comes Jason Castro, number 7. The back of his shirt says William, that's his other surname. And Paul Lee, whose second surname is Dalistanen, that's why it's in the back of his shirt. That's a FIBA quirk. Look, I think they just look at a passport, and if a country has the habit of putting both your mother and your father's surname, they just look at the second one, the last one, and they put that as the last name. And once they do that, when you're a youngster,
that's it, you're done.
You're stuck.
You are always that name. Now, the Philippines shouldn't be too disappointed. They've got open looks. They just haven't made shots you'd expect them to make.
2 seconds to shoot. And he just lost the handle on the original intent of a shot.
Ioannis Baroussis shows that Greeks can also play football. Beautiful little header, knocked it down from the far post.
He did one yesterday, too.
Yeah, he's...
Except yesterday's may have gotten him a technical. He came close.
He would be an interesting centre-half in football. But anyway.
Galathis. Printesis. Off key. Back in the hands of Papanikolaou. He asks for calm. It's reset in the half court with a 5-point lead, 4 minutes to go.
Greeks still settling for the three a little bit too often.
Foul by... No!
Yeah, good call.
Offensive foul. Galathis with his second turnover. And a technical for throwing the ball against the backboard. I'm telling you, the Philippines will get you off your game. You need to settle yourself down.
If they caught it or warned him, I think they caught it or warned him. The ball's back down here to be inbounded.
Well, I saw it's going to be inbounded. I saw everybody, all the Philippines saying, you call the T.
I think he warned Galathis. He should have, if he threw the ball like that as a visual descent, you know, sometimes the referees need to read the situation, but by the letter of the game, it should have been a T.
Well, it was a warning. This is the best point guard in Asia, number 7. We also have Ronnie Del Campo on the court. 9 to shoot. Nice fake and a super block by Baroussis. Oh my.
The odds were stacked against him, though, let's be fair, but Baroussis did well to actually not really get himself in the air. Read when he was going to shoot the ball.
I think he felt bad for jumping in the first place. Ball's out of bounds. Again, a shorter player like that makes a Baroussis, normally a smart player with bigs around him, do things he doesn't typically do. Now, the one thing that Greece is doing very well today, they're making Philippines take their shot with a few seconds to go on the clock. That's not their style.
No, two offensive rebound went begging as they took it off each other.
Zizis to Vasiliadis to Papanikolaou. Baroussis. One-on-one against Pingris. Lots of kilos here. Given up by...
Great hands.
Oh, wow. A steal. Paulie gets fouled by Papanikolaou. And let me tell you, Paulie was part of the reason why the Philippines could get over that shaky start. In the second quarter, he came in and really got the Philippines going.
Well, Paulie he's an impact player. You want him coming off the bench because offensively, he's not shy. He'll shoot that shot. But defensively, he just makes things happen. Yeah, he may foul, but you want impact coming off your bench, and he gives it to you. They've just got to start making some perimeter shots, this Philippines team.
Oh, Blatch loses the ball. 10 seconds to shoot. Castro floats, no good. Undecided between the rim and the backboard.
If you want a clinic about how to structure your defense, great break.
Papanikolaou. Everybody says when he gets in that left corner, he can kill you with a three, he can drive, now he can pass as well.
Well, you mentioned about him getting deep in the shot clock, but if you want a clinic about how to structure your defense, watch Greece play defense. Completely different challenge than they had yesterday. Now it's about forcing the ball on the floor and getting people to take shots and helping like that, helping early. And Baroussis on the floor makes it happen.
Papanikolaou takes the ball now. 4 on 5, and he gets fouled by Del Campo. They are the masters of space. They will invade your space if you're an offensive player. As we take a look at Papanikolaou's drive, Del Campo's foul. Here's the foul, and the rotation came in way late. But they're the masters of standing in a spot where you think you can penetrate, where you think you can run a pick and roll, and making you doubt you can do that, and then moving on to your next option, and then getting in there and undoing your option before you begin to execute it.
Yep, absolutely. And it starts from where they want you to dribble the ball. They channel the ball into areas where they can rotate and they know what the rotation is. And this is when it gets very interesting for me, for Greece. With Vanti Tokumopo coming in. Princess sits down. Well, he looks like he's coming in. He's standing up coming in. Oh, he's going to come in for the shooter. Papanikolaou's he's not a provisional on the shooter. But Kemioglu yesterday came in, stood on the three-point line, probably only played the game between the two three-point lines, and went 4 from 4 in the first period, didn't miss a three. I don't think he knew if there was a Senegalese player out there most of the time. No one was in his face. He is an out-and-out scoring machine if you give him time to set.
For the Philippines, Jumar Fajardo is in on the court as Antetokounmpo one of the big attractions of the tournament, comes in. He just looks like a colt with so much ability.
Yeah.
He's just trying to harness it, trying to figure out how does he fit in here. Not that he doesn't fit already. Paul Lee, hesitation move. Ball's being slapped around, Borussia secures it.
Exactly what we were just talking about. When he looked to pass, he didn't have the shot because that was going to get contested. When he looked to pass, all he could see was blue shirts that rotated into the lanes.
Antetokounmpo trying to post up Del Campo. Del Campo's a bit of a bruiser. Borussia's hook shot. No good. Pingers with the rebound. Philippines tries to run. Fajardo did.
Well, Fajardo came in yesterday again, like Lee, gives you energy, gives you things that happen. And he's going to do the same here.
They took away the three. Again, they took away his space. Castro couldn't shoot either. Just close enough. Antetokounmpo kicks the ball. It goes back to the Philippines, and they reset the clock to 14 seconds.
Well, any of you coaches out there who want to look at how to run team defense, this is it. For me, that their rotations are spot on. They have a set of rules, and they run the rules. Everyone, on the ball, off the ball. Katsikaris does it. It's a clinic of how to play team defense, Greece. They've got some athletes, but they're not basing their defense on athleticism.
Ujukas is in. He's guarding the Kraken, Junman Fajardo. Tough spot for Pingris. Del Campo, the ball got there late. Antetokounmpo closed. And the rebound. It's in the hands of Kamagoglu.
As long as this drought doesn't go on for too long, you know that at times the Philippines are going to have these droughts because they're shooting the perimeter shot. You know, it's out to an 11-point lead, but they're getting open looks. Even though they're late in the offense, they're getting open looks.
Castro over Antetokounmpo. Wow. He had to change his normal shot, and he still made it.
That's probably the toughest shot they've had the last 2 minutes, and that's the one they make.
Sissy's fouled by Castro.
See, that foul with the Philippines, that's not, Greece never make that foul because they have the dribble going to the side, they just channel it down and they don't waste a foul with the dribble going away from the basket. And they don't get many steals because they're not playing that sort of percentage game. Yesterday, even against Senegal, only 6 steals on the game. But then you look at the percentage that Senegal shot, and that means that Greece has got them taking the shots that Greece want them to take.
Sissy's to the line again. He's now scored 7 points as a rebound, no assists. Otis Katsikaris is a young coach and a master at really scouting the opponent and understanding what's going to make his team win.
I think Sissy's maybe cementing his role as the starting point guard for Katsikaris. He's come into this competition with options. Manzares is also a great option for him in terms of a point guard. But Zisis with a start today, that sends a message for him. He's done a nice job.
Paul Lee, guarded by Ujukas. All the way in. And he doesn't get the roll.
It's a good decision, though, by Lee. Should have finished it because he had Ujukas on him, and the help couldn't commit because of the perimeter shot.
Jimmy Alapag is on the court. Missed shot. Oh, what a rebound by Pingris. He wanted to make sure that Greece didn't get any more points, but they end up winning the first quarter 20-10 against the Philippines. We'll be back with second quarter action at the Palacio Municipal de Deportes in Seville. The brawl wasn't friendly. The iron was unkind. Seven turnovers for Greece.
Well, and 7 turnovers again. You remember the Papanikolaou turnover because Tenario was right inside him. And then there are a few others where they've just rushed a little bit out of their play. They've given up a little bit too many options deep for Borussias and deep on the when Zisa's going to the basket. But if I'm Chat-Reyes, I'm getting the shots I'd expect to get. The Greek defense is just making it hard for me to get there. They're being very patient. So like it's not a bad situation. Once Blatz gets in the game, and if he starts to hit, Philippines have a good opportunity at this game.
Look at Sissy's and the beautiful fast break. Not too many of these opportunities with Blatch sealing the deal. Lots of room to dribble for the big man. The Euro step and the soft touch near the rim.
Well, he's had some minutes on the bench. It doesn't look like he's coming straight back. We'll just check as they come out of the timeout. But that's one of the few penetrations, and if you'd have been in the gym, you'd have saw Coach Fotz's reaction to it. When the Philippines got a penetration into space, away from help, and Norwood knocked it down. Let Greece take you to each other.
Huge play here with Printess's finishing. And a beautiful play by Papanikolaou. This is again being very aggressive with his offense.
Well, Blatch is back, and he's got a matchup that they're going with the same way, keeping Vougiagas away from Blatch so that they still have size around the ring when he steps to the perimeter. But he can take Kamioglu on the dribble. That's going to be an interesting matchup. If he tries to space him, Blatch will shoot it.
The benches is here for Greece. Inside pass and a foul for Aguilar, and it's an unsportsmanlike foul. Hard foul against Junmar Fajardo.
Kamioglu's not going to be happy with the unsportsmanlike, but let's have a look. That's an unsportsmanlike. It's from behind. He's holding his arm down. It's not a basketball action. It's a foul, meaning to be a foul, and both officials were straight there with the unsportsmanlike call.
Junmar Fajardo plays for the San Miguel Beermen.
That's my team.
Yes. I wonder what they get when they win.
That's played it, the bonus in product.
63% free throw shooter.
I love stats on free throw shooting because he is mid-60s, but in the World Cup he might be more focused. It's the game in the moment.
In the Asia Cup, he made 75% of his free throws. Jamie Alapag, the veteran.
Nice lineup for the Philippines with Alapag and Castro in the backcourt. Very, very potent, very productive.
Rising up and under, Del Campo has been denied a shot. He moves over, can't make it. Rebounded by Saliaris.
And I think the knee problem that Blatch has is going to really restrict the physical part of what he does. Didn't even contest the glass then.
He really is having some trouble getting around, but no one that he's guarding is a threat to penetrate. A push down low. Wow, he got away with a push without being called for a foul. Alapag had a notion of a three, hands off to Blatch. Oh, his knee feels a lot better when he's got the ball, though.
Yep. He just should back Manzares in. Back him in so you want to shoot it. Draw to help, find someone.
Inside
like that.
He just lost the handle.
Well, he drew to help, got the open one.
Antetokounmpo. Foul by Alapag, by Castro. And they're asking the Greeks for the second time in this game to settle down. Can you imagine? It's the second foul on Jason Castro.
And I think the official's just making a point to Coach Katsikaris that he's okay with him standing up. It's when they persist and they remain standing up, and so the crowd see them standing up, and he doesn't want the visual dissent.
Of course, the players on the bench never do that in the Greek League, right?
Never.
Here's Giannis Antetokounmpo, 19 years old, has grown over 5 centimeters in the last 12 months, and you get the feeling he's not done.
Well, you made the analogy with he is a thoroughbred, isn't he? He's like a young thoroughbred. You know, and he's a 2-year-old racehorse, and he's on the verge of running in classics and all those types of things. He is just top to bottom a superstar in the making.
But his brain is always working and trying to figure out how to fit in, how to give his team what he wants. Foul, a hard foul, and a good foul by Vougiagas, because Junmar Fajardo was about to score.
And again, the Blatch point guard. A little penetration, find Fajardo underneath, because Blatch gives him an issue where he can penetrate to areas they don't want him to go. He went straight down the middle. The help wasn't sure where to come from, so Fajardo's open, and Blatch unselfishly shared the ball.
PBA MVP for the 2014 season, ended up with a double-double, leading the league in rebounding. They call him the Kraken because he swallows everything around him with his long tentacles. The Kraken is a mythical North Atlantic figure, but in the South Pacific, they have a Kraken, and it's Junmar Fajardo.
Well, he's just done 4 from 4 from the line, and he's done what a big man has to do. You get fouled, you make your free throws.
He made the free throws, and now it's an 8-point Greek lead.
Well, they've learned from last night. Kamioglu's being made to dribble the ball, won't get his feet set. He won't beat Blatch on the dribble.
Manzares.
Much better defensive series. They've kept him out there. He didn't have to help, but they rotated out.
Vasiliadis makes them pay.
There's no need to help down. No need to help down. Castro just left his post.
Alapag over to Castro. He's got an access to the rim. No good. Jermar Fajardo with the putback.
Well, there's a tentacle for you. His arm came from nowhere. Great effort on the glass.
Saving for San Mig. The ball deflected by Blatch. It belongs to Greece with 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Game has a different feel in this second quarter in terms of the types of shots and situations that the Philippines are creating. They're getting more penetration, more shots around the ring. They've moved people around a little bit, and Greece aren't actually dictating with their defense.
What a fake, and the foul by Blatch on the shot by Kamakoglu.
Well, we saw yesterday, didn't we? They were poor out of bounds because Croatia got 4 key points out of an out-of-bounds play. As we see a little bit of back manipulation going on. But
yeah, that's Sissy's.
Yeah, the key there, they just all watched the ball, and Kamioglu made a smart cut. Blatch has to foul.
Makes the first. He ended up being the hero of that first game.
He's not missing free throws, Kamioglu. He's
made 4 straight three-pointers.
Always plus 80. It's just a very simple but slow. Well, nothing changes.
But great balance in his
Oh,
body.
absolutely.
Perfect separation of the feet. And good form. Alapag with a fake pass.
It's that 4-on-4 set again where Blatch stays outside.
Vasiliadis is doing a decent job against Castro. Now a switch. Norwood attacks. Over to Blatch. He has to launch a three. He does. No good. Didn't touch the rim. 24-second violation. And LaMonica stops play.
Yeah, they had to stop. They didn't know what was going on with the basketball. If they'd have realized that Antetokounmpo was there, they'd have known he'd have come down with it. But and they didn't. They took too long to get into what they were trying to run. Then they started off going 4 out and just keeping Blatch out, and then they got the mismatch and couldn't find him in the post.
Antetokounmpo handled the ball as a youngster before he had that enormous growth spurt in the last couple of years. Vasiliadis, long two, no good.
It's a great job by Castro. He chased him hard off that screen, made him rush it.
Even though he had 2 fouls. Going left this time, hands off to Blatch. Strong hand, behind the back. Fake, shot. No foul. A
Great
rescue
effort
by Fajardo. Here comes the shot by Castro. Didn't draw iron. And the ball's in the hands of the Greeks with numbers. Antetokounmpo behind the back to Vasiliadis. And a hard foul by Gabe Norwood. An unsportsmanlike foul by Gabe Norwood.
See, I'm so positive about the referee has to call it. It doesn't matter if Greeks had a layup. Because a lot of people say, oh, they've got a layup here. That's too bad a foul for them to just say, oh, there's an advantage for the layup. He grabs him. You've got to stop that right now.
And it's early in the game.
Yeah, it's an unsportsmanlike foul. There's nothing about advantage with a layup there. Call the unsportsmanlike foul, and yeah, Antetokounmpo makes the throws, and they go to the sideline or whatever. They get the ball back, but it sends a message to the players.
Antetokounmpo's been playing for a little bit over 5 years, playing generally basketball, and now quickly he becomes such a promise that the NBA signs him, and then he starts learning how to play the NBA with its subtle but important differences with FIBA, having grown up in the FIBA system, and now after that NBA season, he comes back here and has to fit into Fotis Kazikari's system. That's why you can still see that he's sort of thinking things through, as gifted as he is. And his teammates are helping him. You just saw Kamakoglu tell him where to go. Vasiliadis, Brusis, Kamakoglu, way off.
Again, the chase and the closeout was fast and it was aggressive. But again, just made Kamioglu think and be a little quicker than he wanted to be.
Blatch off the dribble, it's good. No need to post him up. Just get him to dig deep. and make a quick pop-up shot.
Yeah, much more definite then. Well, he didn't try and put it behind the back. 2 dribbles, bit of space, pull up, shoot the mid-range jump shot. Keep it simple.
Rebounded by Pingris.
See, I'm with Chat Raz totally here about going under those screens against these against the Greek guards.
Alapag, way off. This is the typical run and gun that Vincent Chat-Reyes likes to play.
They're going to make shots at some point. They're going to get like a little 6-8 point run. They'll get them right back in this game. They're just going to play enough defense to hang around until it happens.
Barousis working against Blatch. Shoving and pushing, a slap and a foul.
It's a great matchup.
Jeffrey Chan is back in the game. We saw Chan having so much trouble in the first half. He's 0 for 3 so far, missing 2 threes among his 3 shots.
It's Blatch's second foul, and he does everything, and he lets him have it, and then he does that. And it's, I don't know what Chat Raz's rules are going to dictate what happens there. Is he supposed to force him to the middle? Is he supposed to force him to the baseline? At some point, the help's got to come. And my poison there is not to let Barousis take that inside option. It's to help and to kick it, because Vassiliadis with his feet set, yeah, deadly. Kamioglu, but the Philippines done a great job chasing them off the line.
Which hand is Barousis best when he tries that little hook shot, left or right?
He's really normally better. You know, he's a right-handed player
with a very good left.
Oh no, he can go both ways. It's more down to Chat Reyes and where he wants the ball forced.
As we have a timeout, the Philippines needs a break. They're down 12, 5.5 to go in this second quarter. Fast break points. The Greeks are winning that one 5-2.
Yeah, and it's they're winning it because the Philippines are missing those shots on the end of the break, because they want to run and they want to take early shots. If Chat Reyes can just keep his team in around the 12 to 8 point margin, that run that they will make shots. That'll get them right back in it. And as you saw yesterday, once they're in the game, once it's that close, the Greeks aren't in that flow. They're having to think about it, and the Philippines love that environment. And they operated so well within it yesterday, and he'll keep Blatch in the game. If this game gets to 20 plus, 25 with his injury, does Chat Reyes decide, I've got a game tomorrow, I'm going to arrest him, and then the game's gone. There's no way back from that point of view. But I like the shot that they're getting Philippine shots, and if that's what you get, they're the shots you practice. That's the way you used to play. So you just got to make enough of the shots you take.
Mark Pingris, his father is French, mother is Filipino. He's playing the undersized power forward position here. Laban means fight Philippines. And that's of course the Greek name for the country.
The great thing what you mentioned about the Antetokounmpo, he's like so many other players, but they're all rolled into him. You know, you can compare his body type in terms of his length, in terms of his shape, to a Nicholas Batum, but he's so much taller than Batum. And then you can compare some of the guard skills he has to so many. He is a package that a coach is going to love to try and develop.
And love, if I were his NBA coach, I'd let him play with the Greeks every summer.
Oh, God, yeah.
Nice play by Pingris against Antetokounmpo. That's not easy. That's a veteran move.
That's a veteran. Go to one side, get him in the air, come back to the other side of the ring.
Against the 19-year-old, bringing the ball up court.
Tsakaris won't like the fact that he went the baseline side, which is where he likes to force it, and he still finished. No help came.
Kamioglu banging with Pingris.
Keep his hands out.
Corner shot, Antetokounmpo. Way off. Blatch brings it up court. Over to Norwood. You have to wait for the pass. Corner shot. Here's Chan. No good. Antetokounmpo flashing elbow.
He would have liked Norwood to finish it. I know he felt the block coming and he felt the contact, but he could have drawn contact and picked up the foul. But the defensive series is exactly what we're talking about. Chase to the three-point line after they go inside-outside. I don't like the double team option. I don't think they need it.
Oh, wow. He found the crease, but it's no good. Barousis stays behind. Oh, Blatch should have run right down the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. If Barousis starts to be in the extended minutes, he will take his time.
Foul by Manzares. the captain, the veteran. Jimmy Alapak, 37 years old, his last tournament, major tournament. Now they ask Gary David, who's coming in. Chan is just not giving him much.
But it happened yesterday. He didn't give him much first half. Came in second half, made a couple of jump shots. Part of that run they got going. So he's not going to change the way he plays. It'll work for him because he knows his coach wants him to play in a particular way.
Kostas Slukas is in here. He plays for Olympiacos.
Now Slukas is one of the guys where they've got to be careful of actually helping off him because he can knock down the shot.
Alapak against Brusis. He has to shoot again at the last second. Rebounded by Antetokounmpo. Here's Slukas, a lefty. And a foul underneath. And the foul, I believe, is on Pinglis.
Yep.
It's the second.
And they're already in the penalty, so the Greeks back on the free throw line, and Pranzisis is normally...
As L.A. Tenorio shows up for a substitution.
He normally is a very, very solid. He has that touch, and from the free throw line, he does shoot the ball like you'd expect him to shoot the ball, as opposed to that little push shot.
100 million Filipinos reside in country, and countless others around the world. There's really, you can name a country, and you will find the Filipino population. So it's no surprise they're here in Spain, and they're here supporting the team in droves. Alapak, hesitation against Calafis. Norwood, crossover. Back to Alapak. 2.5 to go. They're trying to exploit Calafis. Outside. It is good. Three-pointer by Gabe Norwood, and a nice assist by Jimmy Alapak. And now a timeout by Fotis Katsikaris.
And we need to listen to Fotis Katsikaris because everything that happened in that play is what he hates when his defense gets broken down. They help one pass away from the basketball, which means there's a wide open look. And he will get into it right now.
Laying into Antetokounmpo.
It's part of your learning process. He got broken down and forgot the rule. It's never about one-on-one. It's never about, can I stop my man? It's can we stop them and can we make them shoot the ball from where we want them to shoot it from?
Freelancing is not allowed.
Not at the defensive end at all. It's like, these are our rules. Now, Calafis got broken down. He doesn't want that to happen. Antetokounmpo getting involved with help, and he's one pass away from the ball. That means that's a wide open shot. That's a drill. You know, they'll run that drill day in, day out, penetrate, pass, open, shoot the ball. And he's got to stay and guard that. Because if he stays and guards that, there's a tough shot off the dribble, and the help will come from the other side of the floor. And that's why Katsikaris is up and down. Hated the fact that he got out of the system. And they got punished for getting out of the system. That's what he knows will happen. That's the work that his assistant coaches have been up all night showing them. And that's what he's been standing up in front and saying, this is what we do. If you don't do it, they will score.
Well,
like that.
Again, the way the Greek team works, not only is Antetokounmpo out of the game now, he's at the very end of the bench.
He'll have to work his way back down.
Papanikolaou's in for him. 9 seconds to shoot. Vintesis loses the handle, and he's fouled by David.
Now Chat Reyes is up. He's up really helping his team because his team are unhappy with the call. I'm just thinking they've called that call all game, so that's why we've made the call. Franzisis backed him in. He reached for the ball. There was a little contact. Let's have a look.
Yes.
It's on the elbow.
Yep.
And he's saying it's on the ball, and it really wasn't. And I like the fact that Chat Reyes tried to help his team there. He was there. I don't think he really agreed. He was just making sure that the official tried to look at him and not get caught up with the players.
In the post-game conference yesterday after losing to Croatia, he mentioned a couple of plays. A technical foul for flopping that was very costly.
And very controversial.
The no call at the end of the game. But after having mentioned that, he moved on.
Absolutely.
As he should.
Yep.
Blatch a little passive in the stretch of the game. Dribble, dribble, dribble against Printezis. 6 seconds to shoot. Here comes Ocampo. Way wide open shot.
Got to make that. That's what they have to make. They're on a little bit of a momentum swing at the minute. They've got to make those shots to keep it moving.
They were as close as 8. Slucas to Printezis. Here comes Papanicolaou. He ran out of room. They're claiming that he slipped. And the ball in the hands of Ocampo. Perfect box out of Barousis. Inside, Ocampo quickly. And that's 2 points. He hit the backboard. Great play by Norwood, great recognition.
Oh, and that's what you were mentioning earlier on about the fact when Barousis is taking his time getting back, they've got to run to the front of the ring, and they did, and they got the benefit. That's what Black should have done before. Great transition from defense to offense by the Philippines.
I don't remember that happening once with Barousis last night. This is the second time.
Against the team, though, that should have done it. Barousis is working on the glass, though. Black doesn't need his 3rd foul. Well, he passes it off.
He got lucky. He was leaving Barousis not only the ball, but a chance to look around. Slucas, lefty, all the way in, and the foul.
I don't know where Gabe Norwood was doing. He just standing outside on the opposite corner when the ball was reversed. He didn't adjust at all. Now, the defense on the ball wasn't great, but Norwood just got caught being a spectator.
He knows it. Look at that face. Look at in the upper left side of your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. Oh.
I'm standing out here. Why am I standing out here?
Slucas to the line.
He's a good shooter,
Yes.
Slucas. He's a real... Just calling him everyone's a role player ultimately, but Slucas is your role player. He does 2 or 3 things. He does them very well.
Alapag walking around in the land of the Giants. Nice cut by David. And again, Alapag creating opportunities, distracting the Greeks and their vaunted defense, and waiting for somebody to cut. Found one.
It's a spectator sport watching Futz's reaction to defensive breakdowns.
Papanicolaou is not sweet on that corner 3. No, that's a specialty. Alapag. Blatch. Outside. Oh, the pass was a little bit low, and I think Gary David was a little concerned by Printezis.
Well, again, Futzis will be happy with that because they were in the front in the post. The help came to make sure that Blatch couldn't score, and the rotation from Printezis to the corner. That's the rules. That's how they're going to run. And good things happen when you run your rules because we're all on the same page.
Spoken like a coach. This is to Papanicolaou. All the way. No good. Again, he didn't use the backboard. Blatch doesn't hand it to Alapag yet. Now he does.
That they could close this to a 5-point game on this possession.
The last 35 seconds of the half.
They're right in this.
10 seconds to shoot. Alapag inside. Intercepted by Printezis. Up front to Kalasic. Ocampo's waiting for him. No good. Printezis, it is good.
That's why Printezis is what he is. Blue collar is a great description about him. You never see him make a flashy move or anything like that. He ran the floor harder than anyone else, gets rewarded by the offensive putback. That's a poor miss by Kalafis, though.
And now it becomes a 10-point lead, and the Philippines calls a timeout.
See where Alapag was going in terms of, I need to get Blatch the ball. It's late in he hasn't had a touch for a while. He needs to get a touch, but he forced it so badly the time before, and that generated the points in transition for Greece, who commit to the break when they know they've got the high percentage option.
As you look on the shooting percentages by the quarter, with Greece using a lot of bench players, we're down to 21%.
And I think a lot of that is down to the fact that because of the way the Philippines have played their defense, they're not getting shots they want, or the shots they practice. It's the point you made about the Croatia game. It took Croatia out of what they want to do. And they're missing shots you'd expect to make. It puts you in that situation.
almost like latch yourself to your bowl and don't look at that mermaid. Don't look at it. Don't look at the siren. I know he's short and I know they're weird. Don't do what we don't do.
Absolutely. That's do what we do. That's it. That's all you should concentrate on. And the Greeks recognize a poor situation and go after it. That's so, again, they just read the game. Every second of the game.
Del Campo, the Chan back in the game, waiting for his first bucket. Princesses, over to Chan. Tough shot, no good. And that is the end of the first half. 37-27. Greece will go to halftime with a 10-point lead over the Philippines. The Philippines try to keep it close. They actually tied this quarter 17-all. You notice in the back, as we look at the statistics for this first half,
well, 1 from 10 from the three-point line. We talked before about the fact that the Greeks were a little three-point happy, and Kotsikaris knows that. The Philippines have taken a lot of threes. We know they will. They'll make more than they did in that first period. 10 points are on the margins of it being manageable. The turnover numbers obviously pretty similar there. 3 blocks by the Greeks. They're going to block some of those smaller Philippine guys going to the hoop. But it was apart from the score, that's a crazy thing for anyone to say. Apart from the score, the Philippines should be happy with the way the game has developed. They've kept Greece down after a good first quarter to 37. If they hadn't fouled as often, they wouldn't even have been at 37 because they scored from the line late in the quarter. They just didn't make shots that they want to make. Even though Greece force you into areas you don't want to go to, they didn't make shots you'd expect them to make. They made a couple of bad decisions. It's still 10. It could have been closer. I don't know why Greece have gone away from getting Baroussis the ball, because when he got the ball, he was able to get good shots. He's only taken, well, I haven't got that stat up, I'll get it in a moment. He hasn't taken that many shots, 5 shots. He's only had 5 touches. He's in fact taken 4 shots on the inside. He settled for a 3 one time down. 4 shots in the minutes he's got. Baroussis has got to get more touches. Got to get more touches, because the Greeks got a 1 from 10 happy from the three-point line, because they made a bucket load last night.
What do you think of Princesses guarding Blatch for most of this game?
Well, I think you've got to say that the Kotsikaris decision is working.
So far.
Yeah, so far, because it means they've always got some presence around the ring. Now, Blatch is a little hampered by the knee. We don't really understand how bad or how good his knee is, but he's playing.
A little gimpy.
But, and that's a Kotsikaris thing. We can't do that. We don't want him to play 4-on-4 and take our big guy out. Our rules don't suit that, so we're going to change that matchup. What's surprising is that the Philippines haven't gone perhaps to a smaller lineup with a 4-man that can shoot from the perimeter and drag Baroussis or whoever's guarding him out that way.
Jeff Chan is 0 for 3 though from the perimeter. Del Campo misses only 3. Norwood made 1 of 2. Their classic Paul Lee missed his only 3-pointer. Their classic 3-point spread the court players are not producing.
Yeah, and the game was very similar as from that perspective as yesterday, where they were better in the second half with the shots they took, as we see that come back to the other side move that was really sweet. A little bit of education. That's a compu, but they just missed more than they made yesterday because the Greeks played Greek defense, and they haven't had that many opportunities where the help comes from too close and creates the open look. If they can create more shots, maybe they need to look at how they load the floor and spread it with with 5 out and go 2 on one side and play a little 2-man game. Anything of that nature might give them the space to take the shot and make the shot. I don't think this game is by any means done. I think that the Philippines have got a way that they will get a run and get back into this, and it's how Greece respond to that will decide how this game develops.
Princesses leads the team with 10 points.
And this is the play that sums him up. He just works harder than everybody else and finds a way to get an angle off the glass.
With the hard hat and the overalls. And the miss by Calathis, who struggled now.
Yeah, and I'm struggling to see why Calathis is struggling. And I know he got a bit animated early in the game and he picked up the 2 quick fouls. But it's difficult to see why in a bit of a funk with himself.
Andre Blatch, we thought it would be an important key player in this game. He's got 6 points, 8 rebounds, hampered by that right knee, some sort of right knee twist. But he's been running the floor early in the game. Then he slowed down a little bit. He became a little bit more predictable,
and
less agile.
And the Greek decision to match up the more mobile guy with him has taken away that option he had yesterday where he caught it on the perimeter and could create on the dribble as much as he did, whether it be to go to the basket or to settle for the jump shot. Those options that he had yesterday, because of the quicker matchup, are giving him an issue.
When the Philippines had its moments yesterday against Croatia, Blatch physically handled the ball a lot. You're not seeing that as much. Is that because of Princesses or because of his knee? Or
maybe a combination. But when we did see it, good things did happen. And
the captain played well. He was very aggressive, looking for his score in the early part of the game.
Yeah, and it's not unusual. That's a bit unfair. This is his strength and his quality and what he's known for around world basketball is being a Greek point guard that runs the plays, and you see him deep in games, late in games, making great decisions, and that's when he's normally looking to force or get his own options, when teams have made adjustments and he makes the read. He looks very comfortable in this role where he's been given a little bit more license to score, and he looked very comfortable as the starting point guard. Katsikaris has other options, but from what we've seen so far, he's just looked the more comfortable guy at the point.
It is a 10-point Greek lead. Now the Philippines is aware now that Senegal won. They beat Puerto Rico. And the Philippines, even Chat Reyes mentioned yesterday that when they saw that Croatia was a little shaky, he put all the meat in the grill. He said, we've got to win this game. And perhaps he thought it may have an effect on this team. We'll see what happens in the second half, as Greece really controlled the game yesterday, and in the second half gave a little bit of rest to their starters.
Well, that could be a factor you'd like for the game, for the many Philippine fans here. You'd like to see that little early run in the third and the momentum swing that gets them into a position where they think they can win.
Jason Castro has not been effective for the Philippines today, or not as usual. And again, you wonder if that right Achilles injury is becoming an issue. And instead, Jimmy Alapak's shown up.
But he's really struggling a bit to be a factor apart from the 1 or 2 passes.
Well, we'll be back in a few minutes with the start of the third quarter. best of international basketball on live basketball TV. National team games, men's and women's basketball, senior men's, senior women's, and the younger leagues and tournaments, all of them on live basketball TV, as well as other leagues around the world. All of them available in multiple platforms on broadband. If you sign up, and I have to say, for example, the monthly sign-up fee for the entire World Cup is €7. That's very good.
That's an amazing deal for what you're going to see.
That's very good. Every game.
Every single game.
And,
Live
and on demand if you miss one.
Yep.
And with the capability of actually on your screen watching several games at a time and choosing which one you want, it's a great deal. For those of you in the who understand dollars better than euros, that's about $10. It's not bad. Andre Blatch understands dollars. He plays for the Brooklyn Nets, or he played for the Brooklyn Nets. Now he's playing for the Philippines, and we'll see where he goes next as Chat Reyes, the master of keeping his options open, the master of finding a pattern after he creates the chaos and creating conditions that favor his team. A team that for many years should have been joining the World Cup and the World Championships in FIBA, but several things played against them, some of them of their own making. But now back again at the stage, giving Croatia everything it could handle and still within a shot of catching up and surpassing Greece.
Well, the important thing for them is this third quarter where they don't have to get back 10 points. They have to be in credit at the end of this third quarter for me. It doesn't matter if it's 9, that'll do. As long as they're in striking distance at the start. If they can make it closer, all well and good, because they'll start to worry this Greek team.
Now remember, they had a weak first quarter against Croatia. They eventually had to catch up. Here they had a weak first quarter against Greece. They ended up tying the second quarter 17-all. Let's see if the pattern continues. An even or slight edge to the Philippines in this quarter puts them in position to get their win.
And the crowd will become a factor. Absolute factor if they get to that position.
Printesis, guarded by Pingris. They let him shoot. You were asking for Borussis down low, you're getting him. But he's double teamed, and he still makes that shot with the left hand.
If he gets it that deep, he's going to score, or he would normally get fouled.
Norwood leaves Papanikolaou behind. Pingris is now a three-point shooter. He loses the ball, tries to get it back. Borussis rescues it. Zizis to Sluka starting the second half. To Papanikolaou, he gets the foul, he gets the basket.
Great organization on the break. They dragged it.
That's a frustrated man who finally gets the basket.
Obviously we're here during, if you're away and we're on break and everything else at halftime. As soon as the halftime talk by Coach Kostasaris was finished, he's out on the floor. Papanikolaou out minutes before his teammates putting shots up. He felt frustrated and he ran the floor hard and finished really well. Not the start that the Philippines would have wanted at all.
Three-point play the old way. He's missed both of his three-pointers. He's 1 for 4. But now with that free throw, he now has 5 points. Castro starts the second half for the Philippines. Uncomfortable shot, but he draws the foul from Slukas.
And Slukas will be frustrated. He got caught a little bit off balance because he allowed him to go down the middle. He just got caught. Not really expecting him to push it at him that quickly. I think he thought Castro would pull it out.
Well, Chad Reyes is not using the kind of lineup that gives him three-point shooters. I think, again, he's thinking that his three-point shooters right now are not having their best game. He's now has Chan, who hasn't scored a three-pointer. Castro really isn't a three-point shooter. Neither is Norwood.
So important they got the scoreboard ticking over early. They didn't need a scoring drought as this quarter got underway.
Philippines trying to make Greece burn a few seconds before they set up their half court. Borussis, quick pop out, short, no good. Great rebound by Pingris.
Well, if you have to pick your poison with Borussis, it will be asking him to make the mid-range jump shot. He's a good mid-range jump shooter. but he's going to make the shot when it's deep.
Keeping his left foot as his pivot foot. He doesn't travel. Norwood try to reach Blatch. He does now. Drives baseline and a foul by Papanikolaou. And now he comes up limping. Put a lot of weight in that right knee.
He's recovered his walk. He's still a little limpy.
Again, look at Papanikolaou coming up to him saying, "Are you okay?" Great show of sportsmanship. Maybe the ball went off his leg and he had to do a little showmanship here. Hopefully.
Gets it back. Now this is one of those matchups you'd love to see him try and go at Barousas.
Mid-range. Remember, he made the first mid-range shot last night. Fell in love with that shot, missed the next 6. Sizzies. Inside of Printesses, he was very, very quiet, and Pingris lost him for a second.
He just moves, you lose him, and he'll keep looking at the basketball. If he can see the ball, he knows the person with it can see him.
So quiet on the court. Oh, wow, penetration, but there's Barousas, and he grabs the rebound as well. Up front to Printesses. Very smooth, very quiet. You don't even hear his footsteps. And not the start the Philippines wanted, exactly what Fontes Katsikaris was hoping for. Now it's a 17-point game, and the Philippines is calling a timeout with 7:55 to go in the third. As we look on to Chot Reyes and his huddle in the Philippines, you saw in that beautiful shot, Dario Saric, who today lost a few teeth, we're told by our wonderful camera crew who were very close to the action. We don't know if it was some sort of denture or his real teeth, but according to them, they saw several teeth fly off.
You can see that game on demand, so if you want to watch that, you can get the view of that.
And you can also watch it on the highlights, of course, on Live Basketball TV on the FIBA TV page on FIBA.com.
Now the thing here for the Philippines is that they've been beaten in transition from Greek defense. Greece have come up with with great defensive execution, and they've turned that defensive execution into points. And Printesses, as I say, always looks at the ball, waited and waited, also finishes on the break really well. But he always makes sure he can see the ball, because that means whoever has it can see him, and they'll find him. And he finishes in an uncomplicated way, should we say.
Now we get the shooters. Del Campo's in. Paul Lee is in. Still not the classic Filipino. Jeff Chan is in. So now it's Paul Lee who's going to be doing the point guard position. Let's see if he can get Chan tracked. He took Chan a half almost to get on track against Croatia. Blatch is fouled by Printesses. That is his first.
He was going to bump him. He was always going to foul him if he felt he was going to go baseline on him. Just wear him out, work him out, get him to the free throw line.
Kai Malkogun's coming in. Barousas is getting a break. You see that PBA below the uniform? Of course, it could be as simple as to say, well, that's the league, and they're supporting the national team, supporting the league. But it works both ways in the Philippines. The PBA, given their almost year-round play, they have 3 different cups or conferences, 2 different seasons, made sure that players were available for this effort after coming in second in the Asia Cup. So it may be also a sign of thanks from the national team to the PBA for making these players available earlier for the Asia Cup and eventually for this tournament.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? The national team and the league benefit from each other.
Printesses in and out, rebounded by Del Campo. Paul Lee drives and passes, but there's a foul on Lee as he drove to the basket. It is Zizzi's first foul. I guess the foul was on Blatch. got inbound, they give it to Blatch. Norwood. To Del Campo. Drives left. Inside the Blatch. A block by Papanikolaou and a foul. 2 shots for Blatch. And Blatch again bends over in some pain.
When he has to go up and take a little contact and stuff, there's obviously an issue. He's trying to tough it out here. You know, take your hat off to him. He's not even looking at the bench. He doesn't want to come out. He wants to, you know, carry on doing the job.
He didn't really put a lot of weight on that right knee, so he's just been carrying that pain. It's on the jump.
Yep. Well, he was 2 from 2 on his last trip to the line.
And guess who's back in the game? There he is, number 13, Giannis Antetokounmpo, back from purgatory. Fotis Katsigaris gives him a chance.
He's one breakdown defensively away from being back in purgatory.
And perhaps for the end of this game, so he knows it.
I hope not, though, because I'm loving watching him play.
Now it's a 13-point Greek lead after the free throws. Slukas. Zizzi's open shot. There must be a better one. And a foul underneath by Paul Lee.
Yeah, Lee got a little concerned there. Princesis just posted him up, and Lee felt a little bit threatened, should we say, because they turned the pass down, but Princesis was wide open, and Zizis just looked him off a little bit. Unusual.
Lucas, guarded by Chan. This is going left, up and under. No good. Rebounded by Blatch. Philippines trying to knock down a 13-point disadvantage. Blatch lines up the 3. Nope. Yesterday he would have taken that shot. He tries to post up Princesses. Drives hard to the boot. Short. Rebounded by Antetokounmpo. Loses the ball, and it belongs to Greece.
And it's those sorts of situations where I think the knee problem is an issue for Blatch. He couldn't just get the base to go up and push through the contact.
Antetokounmpo looking to pass. Here comes Lucas. Hands it back to Zizis. Princesses protects the ball. Head fakes. Oh, he moved his pivot foot. No question about it. His right foot lifted and shifted. A little bit too much of a whirlwind for referee LaMonica. Norwood, whose father, an American, had him rooted for Young, and a double and a foul. Lucas, the guilty party, and Blatch, the beneficiary.
I tell you, he may have only been naturalized very recently, but he's already got a great relationship with his fans. He stood there in front of them that time and asked him for the support. Tough finish, under pressure, draws the contact. That's what it means to those fans. Now Blatch, because he was under control and didn't have to do it really, really quickly, got a chance now to get it back to 10. We're back to where we were at the start of the period.
The original plan was for Blatch to swear his Filipino citizenship in Washington at the Filipino embassy, but the Senate, which originated the vote in the law to grant them citizenship quicker than usual, demanded that he swear his citizenship in front of the entire Senate and in front of all sorts of dignitaries, which he did, as Greece penetrates, shoots, and scores. And they keep up.
Again, he's just being very Greek here in terms of the decisions. He gets to the ring and he knows Blatch can't guard him.
Del Campo misses a shot. Antetokounmpo grabs the rebound, brings it up the court. Let's see what else he can do. Inside the Princesses. Works in the low post and he gets hammered by Del Campo. For Renny Dell, whose older brother also plays in the league.
But the Campo's been a bit of a disappointment. De Campo, he's normally one of those players who's a factor for this Philippines team, and it's just been a little bit too much size for him at the moment.
And for the first time in the game, the erstwhile starter, Japeth Aguilar, is in. He's 27 years old. Pritesis, no good. Slapped around, finally in the hands of Diocampo. Diocampo lines up a three. It's good! You're beginning to feel it. If you're the Philippines, I'm feeling it, is what the fans are saying. Chad Reyes is feeling it. And a foul by Paul Lee on Calafis.
That's not the penalty yet. That'll put him onto 4.
He has 4 in the line, though.
But that'll just be the 4th personal. So the 4th team foul. And Vassiliadis has hardly played today. He's coming back into the game today. He started the game yesterday as though he owned the 2 spot on his team. And minutes have been like very minimal up until this point. More importantly, in some ways, Barousis is back.
And Vassiliadis for Pritesis and Fucas.
Well, Coach Fonteccaris went small then with both Kemioglu and Princesis, and now he comes back into I don't know why he's out. Why is he so animated? I don't think there was no shooting foul.
The fact that
it's not that was the 4th. They put I'm not really sure why he's so.
I think Diocampo right now has 3 fouls.
I don't know why there's an issue here. There was a foul. There's no free throws. There's no penalty situation. There was nothing untoward about the foul or anything. Just get things started on the sideline.
They gave the foul to Dalistan. Paul Lee. Calafis. A floater. Put back in by Barousis. Aguilar just couldn't keep Barousis off the board.
Calafis struggling offensively. Now he's looking for points.
Blatch wants it. Calafis finally allows him to. Against Kamakoglu. Banging. Gets close, misses. Barousis saves the ball for Greece.
Well, Blatch again, you've got to think that's a knee problem, but still should have finished.
Calafis looking for his offense and getting it, and wants the foul too. Again, the Greek bench gets up, and the referees don't like that. Paul Lee, they've been warned twice already. Diocampo. To Blatch. Behind the back. It's one of his signature moves. A pump fake. No good. Antetokounmpo. To Calafis. Back to Giannis. Working Aguilar. Who's got the better shot? Vassiliadis. No good. Rebounded by Aguilar. That was an open shot.
That's Vassiliadis. That's what he gets paid to do, make open shots.
Here comes Blatch, drives all the way. No good. Ball goes off Barousis. No, he saves it.
Well, he's had 3 great looks the last 3 times down and has been unable to complete.
Calafis gets a foul and the bucket. I figure.
Well, that's off the glass. Good finish by Calafis. I like the way he's taking responsibility to find his offense. It's not necessarily the type of shots that he's going to need to make as this competition develops.
Nick Calafis, 25 years old, born in Castleberry, Florida. He was one of the greatest high school basketball scorers in his county. Chandler Parsons was his high school teammate. Now plays for Dallas Mavericks in the NBA. Inside Barousis, outside. To Vassiliadis. Outside Antetokounmpo, the 3 by the youngster. In and out. Blatch gets a rebound. A chance to cut it down to less than 6. Oh my goodness, Alapag. It's in! Mayhem! Mayhem!
Alapag gets the crowd on their feet. They've got a chance to get it back to where they were at the end of the pit, at the start of the half. The transition basketball, if they begin to drop, that's their way back into the game.
Running squeeze right behind the screener, Bruces. Antetokounmpo, another three, no good. Here comes Alapag again. Drives, blocked by Kalathis.
Oh, Kalathis almost caught that one. There's a time that it's you're 13 down. It's not the time you necessarily want to rest Black. He's struggling physically now. But him and Bruce are getting slower and slower together, coming down the floor.
Nice fake inside and a foul by Bruces.
In fact, at the moment, Blatty's only scoring from the free throw line. Even though he had really good looks, he's been unable to finish. But this will drag them back to 11, and they keep coming back. They just need to get over the hump.
Second foul, Bruces. And there's your answer. Blatch is going to the bench.
No, he's going to shoot. No, he's going to shoot.
You're right. Just came over to get a
I think
towel.
he needs to get a towel, but also take a little bit more time. Get a blow. He really does need to tick the scoreboard over with these two.
This is the first. 2 minutes to go. 13-point Greek lead. Misses both. Kamakoglu with the rebound. Here comes Kalathis.
Well, they're going to have to rely on their defense again to keep closing this margin.
Oh, a slap by Blatch.
Well, there's your defense. And Blatch all of a sudden doesn't look like he's tired.
Oh, he knows he's going to go to the bench soon. One last effort before a break. Diocampo keeps his left foot in. Here's a shot. It is good. It is good. 11-point game, minute and a half to go.
Wow, you got to take it out. The Philippines just will refuse to lie down here.
Inside to Bruces. Blatch came in real late, and Bruces takes advantage of it.
Well, he went for the steal, took the fake. He got no help from Aguilar. He just let Bruces go down the middle.
Inside to Aguilar. Fakes Bruces. Dribbles around. Misses. Rebounded by Bruces. Again, crowding your space.
Absolutely.
Kalathis gets the foul. Will get the free throws. Alapag is charged.
And Aguilar really hurt the Philippines there. He didn't recognize, didn't try and help, which meant Blatch had to try and recover when he really should have no real need to go in that way. He should have got the rotation from the weak side. Then he missed a little gimme and then just didn't get back. And he's going to sit down.
Fajardo comes in. Chan comes in. Aguilar and Diocampo come out. Bugukas comes in for Greece. And Bruces takes a breather. So Kalathis becomes such a great star. Ends up being a very good player in college. But he ends up becoming a second-round pick in 2009 by Minnesota, which immediately traded him to Dallas. He never played for Dallas. He was traded to Memphis and then played this year with them. Fajardo over to Alapag. 9 seconds to shoot. Alapag throws the ball away. And it's Greece's ball.
Well, they got it back to 10, 11 points. You thought they were back in it, and they've just, Alapag threw it away. The Greeks just keep coming. It's a relentless way, and it's impressive to watch. Kalathis on the back cut.
The ball was tipped, so he really couldn't shoot inside. Nice block by the Kraken. Here comes Alapag. Over to Kraken. Blocked by Bugukas. Here's Fajardo again. Relentless.
Well, he should play more. He really, really should play more. I don't know, his physical condition enables him to, but he should play more. He always has contribution. Just outwork people then. He does it in every single period. Yesterday against Croatia and now against Greece.
Still a 13-point gain, 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Blocked by Fajardo.
It's another tentacle, just came from nowhere. Fajardo's had 1 minute in the game. A steal, a block, and points.
Get that out of here, he says to Kalathis, who again, since he came off the bench in this quarter, has been incredibly offensively driven. Gave Norwood with a deflection. Basiliadis outside, and Sissis can't find the handle. Double team in the corner. Oh, no good. No good to Siebel. No good, no basket.
They're going to review it, I think.
look. No, that you can't tell right there. You couldn't see his hands in that angle. Let's see here.
You'll see from here.
Oh, no.
Ooh,
no good.
No good.
No good. Great effort, but no good. Double team by Pingris and Chang. As LaMonica takes a look. He wants the crew to stop at the moment.
When the light comes on, sure. Right. Just when the light comes on, have a look.
Meanwhile, Fontes Katsikaris will take a look at his team right now, up by 13. No basket.
The Philippines have been on the verge of being blown out 3 or 4 times in that third quarter. It's gone to 15, gone to 16. The start of the quarter was great for Greece, yet they're still only 13 down. They've missed a lot of shots that they should make. Greece still aren't lighting up from the perimeter. 13 points can disappear in a moment if the Philippines can just get those shots that they normally make, especially in transition, to drop. If the Greeks want to control this, they're going to take some time off the clock all the time, and Baroussis is going to have to get in well into double figures if he's going to be a factor here. He's already got the 12. He's going to have to, if he gets close to 20, game over.
Blatch giving them what they can and trying to use the extra time to get as much rest as he can. Do you expect him out at the top of the fourth quarter?
Well, I think it's like the same thing. If he doesn't, he's not going. And it's one of those things you try and balance out. It's a risk for not to not play him, because by the time you put him in, the game could be over.
They're leaving Junmar Fajardo in.
I'd put Fajardo in the game with Blatch and see what happens.
Pingris is the other big for the Philippines.
At the moment, though, obviously, well, Kamiogu's out there, so they can guard him. There's a chance to put him. Be interested to see how they rotate when Blatch comes back.
Alapak to Norwood. Norwood drives. Corner shot by Chan. Here we go. Finally! Off the schneid.
Great movement away from off the ball from Chan. He saw the baseline penetration, sunk to the corner. Beautifully found. Knocks down the 3. We're at 10 again.
Zizzies loses the handle. Norwood wisely goes back. Zizzies goes right. Inside, outside, touch passes. Kalathis comes a little closer. At the end of the possession, the fight for the ball, Norwood.
Well, apart from the defensive box out, that was a great defensive series from the Philippines. They chased it down, forced the extra pass. They got Kalathis, in terms of who would you pick to shoot the ball, shoot the shot, as we get a view of that baseline adjustment for the beautiful release on the 3.
Finally, Jeff Chan makes a basket. 1 for 6 now. He took a long time last night in getting started.
A technical foul called. Who was crazy enough to get a technical foul right now?
Pingris.
It's just not the time. You've just closed it to 10. You've already given up the 2 free throws. Or did he give him a T? There was a T signed to the table.
Again, we've seen that before. It may have been a warning.
Well,
they shouldn't warn with the letter T by making the letter T with their hands.
No,
they should warn them orally. He makes both.
They gave Pingris the technical foul.
Yep.
At a time when you just closed it to 10.
Norwood misses. Rebounded by, let's see, a foul on Greece. Great effort again by Pingris.
He's made up for it by just a sheer effort. It's a good look by Norwood. You expect him to make it.
Kaimakogu will go to the bench. Printessis comes in. 9 minutes to go.
Still no Blatch.
Still no Baroussis.
I think those two may arrive together.
Inside, Pingris
gets
the bucket, gets the foul, and may have gotten hurt as well, favoring his right side.
Like to see it again. That's a tough finish in traffic. Look at that, great little roll, goes a bounce. He just comes down awkwardly.
Stepped another player on Consensus' foot, and maybe on the way down as well.
Yeah, it just looked like he caught it on the way down. makes it a single-digit game if he makes this free throw. That's such a psychological factor. Uga steps out, so Barousas is back right now. Gets the offensive rebound, though. Great job, but Mr. LaMonica sees that Alapag is in a little early.
Yep, Alapag the last one to find out. Cannot believe it.
Got to throw it away, get on with it. You're in credit now as a team. It's not bitch with the official Philippines. Let's play at the defensive end. Let's chase things down. Greece are going to have. Greece are masters at managing games, but it's a long time to manage this one.
He's outside of Printezis. Vasiliadis. Tough pass. Not easy to pass the ball right now against the Philippine defense. Printezis against Pingris. Head fake. Soft shot. Oh, Barousas with the rebound.
Blatch has got to come back, even if it's just a rebound. Here he comes.
Limping off the bench. Palatis. Wow, open shot for Printezis. Misses though. Fajardo with the rebound. Alapag with the charge.
Again, if you're going to pick your poison, you won't mind Printezis taking the three compared to some of the other players on the floor for Greece.
Launches a three. Misses. Fajardo down low. Blocked by Printezis. Here comes Sissies. And he's fouled by Gabe Norwood. Greece had the numbers, and Bruce has made a quick transition to offense.
That just shows you at Bruce's. When he needs to, he can get from baseline to baseline.
It's the other direction that Fotis wants him to do it.
Yeah.
When he goes on defense. Watch him run there as Norwood commits the foul. Blatch is back, and so is L.A. Tenorio. He's going to give Alapag a spell. He's been doing a lot of talking with the referees.
And Fajardo sits down. I'm still would like to see that little bigger combo, just to see how that would affect it.
Sissies. Galata's 14 seconds to shoot. Barousas. It's an alley-oop. No good. Blatch with the rebound.
Big possessions. The next 2 or 3 minutes could see this game just
turn or blow out. Blatch misses. Printezis with the rebound. A struggle for the ball as Blatch gamble. Barousas. Inside the Printezis, and they fell asleep on him. Jeff Chan
he just walked past Jeff Chan. And Jeff Chan stood. If you're standing, people are going to walk past you.
Galatas wouldn't let Tenorio touch that ball, so Norwood had to come out to get it. He's guarded by Thesis. Here's Louis Alfred, L.A. Tenorio. Round the world with the dribble. To Norwood for the three. Too long. Rebounded by Printezis. A couple of missed shots, a couple of empty possessions now for the Philippines on offense. Inside, Printezis strong, right-handed, in and out, rebounded by Vasiliadis.
I love the way Printezis, he looks at the referee, gives him his palms up, and did a great job though getting to the front of the ring.
Vasiliadis launches one, and it's in. It's a three. 15-point Greek lead.
Well, they've done it before. They've been asked to do it again, the Philippines.
Blatch doesn't get the bucket, but he gets Printezis' foul. Now a substitution. It's his third foul. Papanikolaou comes in for Galatasaray.
Bigger lineup for Greece with Vasiliadis and Papanikolaou at the 2 and the 3. And that's how much confidence he has in Zisis. He doesn't mind. He's just going to go with a single guard. Zisis will hand it. He'll get the ball where he needs to get the ball. That speaks volumes about where the thinking is around that guard spot.
Now he makes a free throw. He had missed the last two. John Reyes paces nervously. Makes both. 13-point game again. Printezis. Zizis drives right, and I think Tenorio was expecting to go left.
Well, that puts both teams in the penalty now.
And now it's a free throw shooting contest. I know it's the second one on Tenorio, not yet. Next foul, we'll go to the line. Here comes Papanikolaou. Flashes in against Chan. Double fake. It's a score.
Well, Chan's got to play some defense away from the ball. Second time down the floor. He just gets beat away from the ball, not playing defense. You can't trade baskets. They've got to eat into this score, get it under 10, and see if they can put some pressure on this Greek team.
Paul Lee, tough shot. It's in. Against Vasiliadis. Against Papanikolaou.
Instant offense. Lee wants it. Chet Reyes is up. He knows this is now or never to get back in the game.
5.5 to go in the fourth. Brusis wants it. Double team. Nope. He now is isolated against Blatch. Here comes a shot by Zizis. A three. No good. Blatch with the rebound. That was an open three for Zizis. Here comes Tenorio. Chan again. Blocked by Papanikolaou. To Printezis. 3-on-1. Greece scores. Timeout. Chet Reyes. The Philippines down by 15 with 5:15 to go in the fourth. 20 points for Printezis.
If I'm Jeff Chan, I'm not walking slowly into the timeout. I want to get there quick. I don't want to be in the firing line when it comes down to where were you defensively and what was that last shot. They've been at 15 for a long time. They've just got to break it down to under 10. They had chances. But Greece are just relentless in how they play the game.
Would you take out Jeff Chan at this point? He gave you the last three, but
I'd have taken him out for the defensive breakdowns because they're not going to trade baskets to win. I still think Fajardo and Blatch might be a nice option because they can take care of stuff on the glass. And Fajardo's just got a habit of finding the basketball. Apart from that, I think most of the options for, and it wasn't even that he was coming from the side. He just came. He was slow on the release. It's not done. This 15 points. Yeah, it's a big man. And Greece can dry up, as we saw earlier in this game. And they haven't been great from the perimeter all night. But the Philippines just need to break the back of the lead. If they could get it to 9, it would just be such a big difference.
Chan hurt his hand.
I'm not surprised he hurt his hand. The block was really hard.
As Dallas Stan and now Ocampo come in. Ocampo, tougher defender, especially in the half court. Not as great a shooter, though, than Chan. Oh, look at that. Fingers just begging for the ball.
Because Brusis is guarding, and that means he's under the basket. Oh, my word.
Another block. Again, Papanikolaou. 3-on-1 again. He loses track of the ball, but there's Printezis doing what Printezis has done so well in this game.
Make a mistake once. Don't make it the next time down the floor. Crazy decision by Lee.
Blatch.
Great
drives.
job. Great job.
All the way in. He saw the room, he just drove.
Yeah, absolutely. And he did it quickly. Didn't have to do it with too much power, so I hope he saved the leg.
Back to a 15-point deficit for the Philippines. 4.5 to go in the fourth. They're trying to post up Lee. And there's a foul. Foul, I believe. Let's see.
If Chet Reyes doesn't go a little bigger, this is what Greeks will now do for the last 4 minutes of the game. They're going to wait as long as they need to wait, and they're going to try and post up strong, and it's going to happen every time down the floor.
2 blocks by Papanikolaou. And then a pass that was intercepted by Blatch. The foul was on Paul Lee. Papanikolaou makes the free throw. He now has 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 block shots. The Houston Rockets can't wait to get him. Ingris guarded by Brusis. He drives against him. Strong to the hoop. Wow.
Great decision. Got Brusis in the air. Vasiliadis is not going to block because Benzis is out on the perimeter because that's where Blatch has dragged him to.
Brusis in space is a different story on defense.
Yep.
1-on-1. Papanikolaou loses the dribble, stolen by Tenorio. No foul by Barousis. 5-on-4, a little slow Barousis in getting down. Here comes Pauli, he makes it.
There's fans still believe, 11-point game. They just will not lie down and die.
That's the theme and the logo for this team. Laban, Pilipinas, Puso. Fight Philippines with heart. But here is Printesis. As Pauli goes straight to the basket, no good. Rebounded by Pingris, no space for him. Out to Blatch, he drives all the lane. He gets the foul. Wow, now he's not even putting any weight on that right leg.
And this is where this is one of my pet hates as a coach, when someone misses a matchup and forgets what they're doing. They say, yeah, I'm sorry. Well, this is the end of the game.
What do you mean you're sorry?
Princesis has just like made a free and left Fio Pingris just standing in the keyway looking at him make it. And the great job that the Philippines have done by chasing people off that three-point line is when they've had success. Don't put your hand up and say, I know I'm sorry. If you know you're sorry, go and play defense.
Better yet, don't be sorry in the first place.
Well, yeah, get out there. You know, if you recognize it, don't let it happen. If he makes a three with you all over him, fine.
You wonder if that right knee of Blatch is going to get better.
Well, if you're the Philippines now, you'd want to be like some of the other groups in this competition, having tomorrow off. They're going to roll out here tomorrow and try and get a win.
Yes, they're going to be playing Argentina. Big winner today.
Exactly what you need.
He beat Croatia, and a pop by Tenorio, or that is so it looked, against Papanikolaou. Now Calathis letting him know that that wasn't appreciated.
Well, why? Why on earth would LA Tenorio do this? And then Papanikolaou's right. He just can't understand it.
A low blow, basically. We hope. Let's see. Oh, we couldn't see it.
Well,
not that angle.
That's cheap.
Let's see now. Oh yeah.
That's
oh
cheap.
Yeah. Literally a low blow.
He's lucky he's not thrown out the game. It's cheap. Just hate the cheapness of that.
Turns to Chat saying, don't take me out now. That is clear as can be.
And why? You know, the game is still a 12-point game. You know, there might have been a shot at make some threes, get some plays. Could have become interesting if Papanikolaou make one of these and then Greece score and they score four, get 4 points out of this play. Game's done.
Makes the second, but possession, that's the kind of foul it was, unsportsmanlike.
Well, and as you made the point earlier on, Papanikolaou was out there picking people up, shaking people's hands, helping them up, and it's all part of the game. He didn't deserve someone to give him a cheap shot.
Less than 3 minutes to go, 13-point difference. Greece with the ball in the lead. Demakoglu back in the game, so is Vasiliadis. Another launch by Printesis, but this time he misses. He's off the mark. Del Campo up ahead to Tenorio. Inside to Pingris. But he thinks twice against Printesis. Right-handed hook shot, short.
Should have thought twice, and he made the decision. He had people wide open, like naked on the perimeter, waiting for him to pass the ball. And especially they had leads, just made a three.
Vasiliadis, curl three, short. Blatch with a rebound.
And you can't say enough good things about Blatch, the way he's just doing it with that bad
Oh, wow,
knee.
that's a travel. That is a travel if I saw one.
Yeah.
So Andre Blatch right now with 14 points, 21 rebounds, and his third turnover.
Oh, he has 21 points, Blatch. It's just a phenomenal performance.
25 for Georgios Printesis of Greece.
He's the Greek hero tonight. Kamioglu yesterday, Princesis has done it all. Both ends of the floor.
Papanikolaou, stripped by Tenorio, cleanly. But the ball, now an elbow by Printesis on the head of Tenorio. I wonder if it was just part of the play or something else.
I'm not sure. Tenorio didn't get upset about it.
As now we have, no, they're waving off the timeout. No, he already called it. It's a sign. There you go. I don't know. Let's see the replay.
Well, we missed it on the.
Let's see.
Here we go. I think he just.
Well, yeah.
He just came down.
Yeah. Even though they're alleging that in the Filipino bench. So they're down 13, and now Judd Reyes trying to get his team to do the most they can with 1:53 left.
It's his last timeout. He wanted to try and cancel it because it's his last timeout. And they had it on the sideline, and he's got to come down now. The frustration for him and for the fans watching the game is that the Philippines were right in this game in terms of the options they had. They just made some bad decisions, maybe decisions they would get away with in their league at home. But against this bigger team from Greece, they could have kicked it a few more times and just backed their three-point shooters on in-out plays. Because Lee had just made one, and on that move on the last play, when Pringus tried to go up over Princesis, Lee's wide open on the perimeter. It's a much higher percentage shot in those circumstances. But how good has Princesis been? He's just been phenomenal. Effort, scoring, challenging shots, playing defense.
The silent assassin.
Absolutely, he's one of those, he epitomizes this Greek team. It doesn't matter who's the star on a given night, just gets the job done.
Blatch running off the screen. Del Campo off the Pingree screen. Inside to Blatch. Double team, Papanikolaou and Sissis tries to break through. Oh, he walked again.
It's a team defense concept again. Boy, he's going to take Blatch out.
Bring Junmar Fajardo. It may be it for Blatch.
Well, he needs a standing ovation just because of sheer effort, commitment to the cause.
1 assist, 3 steals. That was 21 points and 14 boards. All 14 rebounds on the defensive side. Sissis running off screens. The ball is tipped off by Pingers. Here comes Paul Lee. Paul Lee drives fast and against Calates. Puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Papanikolaou, and a foul by Lee.
I always have this thing. If you're going to take it to the ring, you've got to believe you're going to score. And Paul Lee went up there and just let it go. As in, like, I've got to the ring, I'm going to shoot it. But if you don't like it because you think you're going to get blocked, don't go up there and shoot it. And it's a shame again, a difficulty again, because they really did a good job defensively. Got the deflection, had numbers down the floor, and he doesn't even hit the ring on the layup because he's worried about the block. Don't take the shot if you're that worried about the block.
Pingers to the bench. As Aguilar comes back on the court. Paul Lee. Minutes of play, 5 points, 1 rebound.
And the Philippines, again, I still think it's important to finish games positively. They've got a tough game tomorrow against Argentina. Then they have a day off, and then they've got to play Senegal, and they've got to play Puerto Rico. 2 games that they could genuinely win and give themselves a chance to qualify. If they finish this positively, anything can happen.
Tenorio in and out and in.
Yeah, that's a positive way to finish.
And they'll take the points. At this point, it's all about goal average. For a team that may have to fight for a spot to get out of Group B. Puerto Rico's second loss today. Fields open now. Papanikolaou. Calates, 7 seconds to shoot. Long miss. Tenorio drives against Sissis. Launches a 2. Aguilar with the tip-in. It's an 8-point game.
These Philippine fans always believe, don't they? 8 points in 30 seconds. They still think their team has a chance here.
Disease drives. Back to Princesis. Outside to Papanikolaou. Great pass to Calates. Whoa, look how much time he had to set the shot. He had forever to set up that shot. Beautiful assist by Papanikolaou. Inside. And the Kraken Fajardo with 2 points. It's a 9-point difference in this game.
And when it comes down to those games against Senegal and Puerto Rico, the Kraken has to play.
And Makoto with a late three, with a second and a 10. Builds up a 12-point lead. The Philippines are not done. Everybody's shaking hands. Here's a shot, not on time by Tenorio, and the game is over. 82-70. Greece is now unbeaten, as is Croatia with 2 wins, and the Philippines now falls to 0-2 as there's a fight between Fotis Katsikaris and some Filipino players. I think it's Tenorio he's trying to address.
Well, great effort by the Philippines. The game does not need to end like this. I don't know why some of the guys in not in uniform are on the floor as well.
They should be pulling everybody away.
Everyone should be just...
As Captain Arapac, Dr. Calathis, I think that hit by Tenorio against Papanikolaou is still having some sort of an effect in this game. The game's over. And now Papanikolaou, what a class act. He goes over and shakes Vincent Reyes, saying, no harm, no foul. Let's move on. Here's the scoring total. Pentesis with a wonderful game. The Filipino crowd boos the Greeks, but they won fair and square.
Well, more than fair and square. They got themselves into a situation where they got the game they wanted, they got the options they wanted. It was Princesas' turn tonight to show up and be the man for them. And the Philippines should be walking off the floor here saying, yeah, we had opportunity, we were in the game. They should be walking off the floor after the unsavory stuff at the end of the game, which was completely out of context with the majority of the game. Only the LA Tenorio incident was the only thing that really was a factor in the game.
Perhaps Fotis Katsikaris didn't have to go over and make that final point. Perhaps.
Oh, and that does him no benefit at all.
Exactly.
You know, it's the one moment in the game. It was a cheap shot. Everyone knows it's a cheap shot. Papanikolaou showed the way to deal with it. You have the class. It's happened in the game. Let other people deal with it if anything needs to happen. You just get out, you shake your hands, you walk away, you take the win, which for Greece shows that this team has a little bit of edge about it and has a great way of being a factor in big games, because this Philippine team has a lot of heart. They're not going to go away and they're going to make enough shots to hang around, but Greece controlled the game, a difficult game to control, very well.
Indeed, they were bothered like everybody does when you play the Philippines, but they had the answers. And the Philippines really went through stretches where their offense was not making. Like Jeff Chan makes his only shot here. Yeah. He really was empty. Pingers with a very, very tough shot. Everything he made today he had to pay for. Barus is passing now to Princesas. Again, the silent cut. Nobody knows where he is until he finally shows up with the ball.
And it's plays like that that really hurt the Philippines, because it was tough enough playing against Greece. Chan was the guilty culprit then. It's tough enough playing Greece. But when you give Greece easy options, it becomes a really difficult job.
Vasiliadis making the open shot here.
You can't for 1 second relax. Another back cut where the defense doesn't know where the cut's coming from, and Papanikolaou on that occasion finishes off the glass.
82-70 is the final score. Greece remains unbeaten, ties Croatia at the top of Group B. Philippines falls to 0-2. They still have a chance against Senegal and Puerto Rico later on this week. For Mark Clark, this is Alvaro Martin. Thanks for joining us. Day 2 is over in Group B, but tomorrow, Day 3. Join us then. Good night, everyone.
2-2 για την εθνική μας ομάδα. Μαζί μας έχουμε τον μεγάλο πρωταγωνιστή της αναμέτρησης, τον Γιώργο Πρίντεζε. Γιώργο, ασυνήθιστο, άταχτο παιχνίδι. Μπορούμε να πούμε τέλος καλό, όλα καλά.
Ακριβώς όπως το πες, οι Φιλιππίνες είτε παίζουν με την καλύτερη ομάδα του κόσμου, είτε παίζουν με την πιο κακή, να το πω έτσι. Παίζουν με τον ίδιο τρόπο παιχνιδιού. Είναι πολύ επικίνδυνη ομάδα, ακριβώς αντίθετο από την ομάδα τη χθεσινή, θα έλεγα, γιατί τους αρέσει να τρέχουν και να σουτάρουν τρίποτα χωρίς σταγμό. Φάνηκε ότι μας δυσκόλεψε, όπως και δυσκόλεψε και τους χθεσινούς αντιπάλους τους. Τέλος καλό, όλα καλά και συνεχίζουμε.
Είμαστε μια νέα ομάδα. Τι μάθημα πήραμε από το σημερινό παιχνίδι?
Όλα τα παιχνίδια είναι σημαντικά, δύσκολα. Για να βρίσκονται εδώ πέρα όλες οι ομάδες που να πει ότι έχουν καταφέρει και έχουν προκριθεί στη δικιά τους Ήπειρο. Οπότε θέλει πάρα πολύ προσοχή. Κάθε παιχνίδι είναι σημαντικό. Και κοιτάμε μέρα με τη μέρα να βλασταριστούμε όσο δυνατό καλύτερη θέση γίνεται για να έχουμε θεωρητικά όσο πιο εύκολο γίνεται αντίπαλο στο νοκάουτ παιχνίδια.
Κάναμε το 2-2 και δείξαμε ότι ο οδηγός μας σε αυτό το τουρνουά θα είναι η άμυνα.
Και η άμυνα θα είναι ο οδηγός μας φυσικά. Από την πρώτη μέρα δουλεύουμε για στο συγκεκριμένο κομμάτι. Και ο ευνηδιασμός και η ταχύτητα, αλλά και θεωρώ το παιχνίδι που χαρακτηρίζει την εθνική πάντα είναι η ομαδικότητα. Και σε γενικές γραμμές στα δύο παιχνίδια το έχουμε κάνει.
Ένα ακόμη όπλο είναι οι πολλές λύσεις που έχουμε.
Ναι, σίγουρα και οι 12 παίκτες είναι τιμοπόλεμοι. Ο καθένας μπορεί να προσφέρει τα πάντα σε αυτή την ομάδα, είτε είναι ένα λεπτό είτε είναι 40. Και είναι πάρα πολύ καλό το καθένας έχει καταλάβει το ρόλο του. Σήμερα ήμουν, όπως είπες, εγώ, αύριο θα είναι κάποιος άλλος. Έτσι είναι η εθνική. Αυτό πρέπει να καταλάβει ο κόσμος και ο καθένας προσπαθεί να δώσει το καλύτερο που μπορεί, ακόμα και για ένα λεπτό. Το ένα λεπτό είναι πολύ σημαντικό για τον καθένα.
Επόμενος αντίπαλος στο Πουέρτο Ρίκο που προέρχεται από 2 ήττες. Αυτό το καθιστά πιο επικίνδυνο.
Σίγουρα γιατί θα τα δώσει όλα για όλα αύριο. Είναι μια επικίνδυνη ομάδα, έχει καλές μονάδες και πρέπει να ξεχάσουμε το σημερινό παιχνίδι και να συνεχίσουμε.
Να σου δώσουμε και συγχαρητήρια γιατί έκανε ρεκόρ πόδι με 25.
Σε ευχαριστώ, αλλά μακάρι να επιτευχθούν και ομαδικά ρεκόρ.
Επίσης, αυτό το τουρνά έχουμε δει ότι τα τεσσάρια πηγαίνουν πολύ καλά στην επίθεση. Δεν ήταν το alter ego στο Καμακόγλου, σήμερα εσύ.
Εντάξει, όπως είπα και προηγουμένως, κάθε μέρα έτσι είναι η εθνική. Και οι 12 παίκτες που θα πρωταγωνιστήσουν στην επίθεση, χθες έτυχε ήταν ο